All right, we're here, folks. That's right, we're not out on the ocean like some of our American Adversaries listeners in the Army who are on their way probably back now, I guess, from the Bahamas on their, what, 4-night, 3-day tour cruise. That's right. Anyway, we're here. We're in for another 3-hour Sunday evening classic tour with the American Adversaries live on FM 105.5 and AM 660 The Answer. And we're not on the ship, we are on the Mercury Free Studio atop the Salem Media Group Studio Complex here in bustling Central Florida. Welcome to the show. Once again, this is the Mercury Free Broadcasting Studio. Don't forget, for the very best in general dentistry, health-centered dentistry, and from an award-winning dentist, get your mercury-free dentistry done by my dentist, Dr. James E. Hardy. And you can do that by calling his office at 407-678-3399. Renee will take good care of you. She'll get you an appointment, and pronto if you need one, pronto. Speaking of pronto, we want to get to the show. Pronto. Jeff Sinnis is on the bridge tonight.
How you doing?
Getting ready to depart on his own cruise. Please tell our audience why, Jeff. If you don't mind.
It's the 40th wedding anniversary, my folks, so love you, Mom and Dad.
All right, that's cool. That's really cool. Why wasn't I invited? And, of course, you can give us a call at any time during the next 3 hours at 407-774-8255. We will be doing our traditional Who Said That contest tonight, so you'll want to keep that phone close by for that very reason. And Carl Jackson is going to call in with his corner. In the meantime, in the studio with me is Aubrey Kahn. That's right. What's your shirt say there? You're awesome. You're a con. Huh? What does it say? I can't read it all. Of course I'm awesome. I'm a con. Con! There you go. Modesty's one of my strong points. Good, by the way, The Wrath of Khan was by far the best Star Trek movie in my opinion. I don't know. But
it was a remake from Melville's Moby Dick, actually.
Yeah.
Only right. William Shatner was the whale.
That's right. That's right.
But he's lost weight.
And it's interesting because I've been calling Donald Trump Moby Dick, and so we'll be talking about that. Of course, we were at the summit. That other voice you just heard is hanging around himself, and that would be Lucas Paris.
El Periscopio is here.
And tell folks once again how they can take advantage of El Periscopio.
You're going to go to youtube.com, and in their search bar, type in Adversaries TV. That's one word. We'll find our channel, click on it. Newest videos are at the top. Older ones are in descending order, so come to Pariscope Depth, the American Adversaries.
There you go. All right, so we are all lined up. Oh, by the way, Sunny, our California Glow Girl, will be back with us tonight. And she just celebrated her birthday this past week, so we'll have to help her celebrate. Yeah, well, we sing happy birthday to both the beautiful ladies. All right, in the meantime, as we were preparing for the show the other night at the summit, and by the way, we will be talking more about the summit, but I just want to say I'm as proud as a peacock of everything that the American Adversaries Army represented at the summit. We were there in force. Aubrey was there all day Friday, and Lucas was there all day each day, and we had Kathy Santo Messino there. My brother was there Friday, Roger, and we also had, of course, Rachel Cohen and her friend Cynthia Grace. And we really, and then Carl Jackson showed up with Mickey Alvarez, and I tell you what, we were styling and profiling, and I think we made an impression. Let's just say they were probably talking about us in the press pool as they were on the way to the airport, or loading up for their flights. Real quickly, we had, of course, press access. We had press passes. No one got individual one-on-one interviews, with the exception of one of the guys on Radio Row happened to snag an interview with Rick Santorum, because he and Jim Gilmore actually ventured out into the hallways where the people were. None of the other candidates did that. They were whisked in and out of rooms, you know, and went through the back hallways to get from one room to another. And if you didn't see them on stage, either in the main hall room or in the press conference room, which we had access to, and I'll tell you about that, then you didn't see them at all. So the event was well organized and well orchestrated, and no one other than the first day when you had to go initially get in because of the security. There was some waiting to initially get in, but other than that, everything went off really smoothly. So compliments to the organizers of the Republican Party of Florida and others who organized the event, and all the volunteers who were there. And they had a ton of volunteers, and they were very helpful. And but we did have access to the press conferences, and we did take advantage of that. And we'll be talking about these experiences during the week, but suffice it to say, as I said, our presence was felt and known. And evidently, when I got home yesterday afternoon, I was pretty well worn out. I mean, we did a lot of walking, and cause it's a big facility.
Oh, that was huge.
Right, and the door to get into the main hall was on the opposite side of the ballroom where they had Radio Row. Now, Radio Row was in the main hall. I mean, it was a perfect place because it was great exposure. As people came in, as they left, you walked right by Radio Row. You could not avoid it, and unless you went out one of the back doors. But the ballroom was interesting because it was actually located in the center of the building, and so there was like a big horseshoe hall that would go around. And we had to go clear on the other side of the horseshoe to go into the main ballroom to be able to see the speakers. And then immediately across the hall from that, kind of catty-corner across, back in the back corner, was the press rooms. They had one where they held the press conferences, and then next door to that they had I forget what they called it, but it's the room where they file their reports. And they have a couple of TV monitors set up in there so that the reporters can actually just sit in there the whole time if they want and watch the speakers on stage. And then if they feel like it, they can just scurry next door to catch the press conferences. We try to catch them as much live as possible. And then we would go across the hall to the press conference room. And of course, that's where it can get more interesting. And what would you say in the room? The first day obviously was much more crowded.
Yes, that was definitely the busiest day. Yes, Friday was definitely the craziest of the days because that was Ben Carson, Donald Trump, we had Chris Christie there, you know, all the big ones there.
All right, and by the way, Donald Trump canceled his news conference because there was some speculation, because as we were preparing to do the show, let me back up a minute. As we were preparing to do the show, my brother came up to the table and told us that there was a terrorist attack going on in Paris, and that the French president had to be evacuated, and it was looking pretty bad. His wife had actually called him because she caught the reports on CNN or something like that. So he alerted us. Aubrey Kahn went immediately to his faithful laptop computer here, a little flip-top thing, and did a magnificent job of keeping us up to date as the story was developing over the next 2 hours. Well, evidently Donald Trump got the word about the same time too, and they have buildings, they have a hotel, big old hotel over there in Paris. And so he canceled his news conference to, in essence, take care of business. Which I thought, when you look at it from that
makes
aspect,
sense.
yeah, and that's what you would want a leader to do, whether that leader is of your organization or perhaps of your country. You might not want your leader to go out and say, play golf or play cards upstairs in the White House.
You weren't answering the red phone at 3 a.m.
Yeah. And so. But as I said, in the press conference rooms, that's where it could get a little bit interesting. Now, Marco Rubio spoke that morning, and we'll speak a little bit later about the actual stump speeches that these guys gave, because I was a little bit surprised with a couple of them. But the press conference for Marco Rubio was my first, right? And so it takes a little bit of a learning process, but we were sitting in the second row, and I was trying to get a question answered. But I will say this too with Marco Rubio, he didn't choose who the questioners would be. He had two handlers doing that, one on each side of him. And so they were choosing who. So it looked to me like they had kind of already decided who they were going to have ask some questions. And they went immediately to Carl Cameron, the National Fox guy. They hit the Telemundo folks. They hit some print folks. And then he was done. And as he was walking off the stage, well, you know, we had that contest Thursday. And we had that question. And so I stood up and with a loud voice, I wouldn't say shouting out, but with a definitely I projected, let's just say that, would you indict Hillary Clinton if this administration doesn't? And he kind of reaches up and kind of tugs at his coat a little bit. That's a little bit of a body language there. I'm going to cover myself. It's kind of a shielding move, right? And then, but we did detect, Kathy and I detected a bit of a Cheshire cat grin, you know, just kind of creeped into his lip there, you know, as he was walking sideways to us. And then when he turned to walk behind the curtain, I followed up with, "She's clearly broken the law." So
it was quite a learning curve.
Yeah. And now I think I talked about that on the show Friday, but what I did talk about was what happened in the Ben Carson press conference and the press conferences that followed up the next day. And that would have been yesterday, and capped it off with, we did Rick Santorum, we did Bobby Jindal, Rand Paul, and John Kasich. And it was, well, we have to take a break, but we'll pick it up again on the other side. We'll give you the latest out of Paris and what France is doing. In the meantime, please don't go away, because you are listening to the American Adversaries 3-hour classic Sunday evening tour. And you know, pretty soon, if not already, if someone has an AM radio on that ship, they might be listening to us live